Welcome back to the Adventures of Mac and Anthea. In today's video we're going to do a quick short video on how to clean out a fuel tank on a mini digger in situ when it's too difficult to actually remove it from the machine. Okay, so in most circumstances it's always better to actually get the tank off the machine where possible. It's often only sort of 3 or 4 bolts and a few pipes and it's off. Then you can get it on the workbench and really get into it. But in some cases it's not always viable, and this is certainly one of those. This is the fuel tank on this machine. In front of it we've got the hydraulic fuel tank, or the hydraulic oil tank, which would have to be drained, pipes would have to be disconnected, this would have to be removed. Then we'd have to remove the seat and the actual floor down here before we could even get to the bolts to release the tank and then remove it. So basically it's just not viable just to clean a fuel tank if it's at all possible to actually do it on the machine. Okay, so I actually did this job a couple of weeks ago, but I've decided to make a video on it because it's been a great success. I've noted a marked improvement on performance. The fumes actually coming out the exhaust, which could be a little white at times, which I suspect was due to water contamination inside the fuel tank, has now ceased, and I'm feeling a lot more power, to the extent that I've just spent sort of 3 days going through this and the machine's been really strong. This is going to be a water tank, and as you can see there's solid rock and all sorts. Now I have had to jump down there with the old jackhammer and do bits and pieces with it, but for the most part the digger has managed to break that out just with the bucket. So yeah, I'm well impressed. So like I said, it's been 2 weeks we've been doing this, working with this digger since I've cleaned out the fuel tank. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump back in time a few weeks and I'll show you how I did it. Please don't expect anything mega sophisticated in this. It's real basic stuff, which, let's face it, when you're doing practical tasks is always the best way. Okay, so we're just taking this cover off here. This is where we access the bottom of the tank. I'll see if I can get you a picture of it in a minute, but it's pretty tight under here. And this, you've got like a drain cock where you can drain the fuel out of, and then you've also got the feeder return pipe that goes into the bottom of it. Now we're first going to try and drain the diesel out of the feed pipe rather than out the drain cock, because the drain cock drains from the very bottom of the tank, whereas the feed pipe has actually got a little bit of pipe that goes a little way up into the tank, so that if we drain that we might be able to save some of the diesel. You know, because it gets higher than the dirt, and hopefully it's settled since it's been stood for a week or two. Hopefully all that sort of dust has settled back down to the bottom, and we'll be able to drain at least some decent fuel out of this, even if we have to filter it a little bit before we put it back in. So hopefully you can see this. This is the drain cock, so we're going to leave that for a minute. This one here, which I managed to trace, is the return. So this one here looks like it's a feed, hopefully you can see it. And we're going to try and drain it, disconnect that, quickly stick a piece of pipe on it and get that down into a can and drain as much of this fuel off as we can. Okay, so hopefully you can see that there. That's the pipe there, and that's just doing a little drip. So yeah, definitely fuel starvation, and that's definitely blocked, so I'm going to have to find something to push up there to get the fuel flowing. Okay, so we're near enough drained down. It's just trickling out the last little splurts out of the tank, which will be at the top of the feed pipe but not to the bottom of the fuel tank. So I didn't film all of that, but things got a bit manic there for a while. More diesel in than I thought. Start to run out of containers. Okay, and we get towards the final stage here. This is a tap here. You see there's a little bit of a drip coming out of it, but not much. So I'm going to have to give that unblock that with some wire, and then get this sort of piece of hose on it and drain the last bit of diesel out from the bottom of the tank. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this section of the job this morning. I've been back to the farmhouse. I've made myself a specialist tool, which is basically a paintbrush on the end of a long piece of bar. Okay, so here goes the theory. What we're going to do is I'm going to shut the drain cock off at the bottom of the tank. I've drained as much diesel out as I can, and very little actually there. I would have liked to have seen the pipe going a bit higher up into the tank, but there you go. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour 2 to 3 litres of petrol actually into the tank with the drain cock closed. Then I'm going to use this budge to sort of agitate all the way along the bottom of the tank with the petrol. Now the idea of that is to actually break down the diesel, and hopefully any clumps of debris that in there that's stuck together and, you know, pasted together with the diesel is all going to break up. Then when I'm sort of happy with that and I've agitated all the way around in the inside the tank and cleaned and that through it, then the plan is to drain all that petrol and hopefully a load of the dirt out of the drain cock. Then what I'll do is I'll leave the drain cock open, I'll leave the cap on the fuel tank ajar overnight, and hopefully any petrol left in there will sort of evaporate out of the tank. So all I'll be left with then, with any luck, is going to be just the bits of debris in the bottom, which I could then get a long pipe with the hoover inside and hopefully hoover it all out. Now, of course, this is the theory, and anybody who does, finds practical solutions to practical problems will tell you what works on a piece of paper or in theory in your head often doesn't work or translate well into practical application. This, incidentally, to those armchair theorists out there, this is why we often get agitated with you guys when you start with well, why didn't you just do that? Why didn't you just do this? So, here goes nothing. Let's give it a go. Okay, so for the interest of making this video interesting, I've actually shortened this footage considerably and actually sped it up as well. I spent about 15 to 20 minutes actually swirling around repeatedly, shining with the torch and moving it and cleaning it with the brush before I finally stopped. Good morning and welcome back. It's day 2 of us cleaning out this fuel tank on this mini digger. Got up fairly early this morning, got off down into town and picked up a new filter for the digger and some fuel injector cleaner as well. Not too much dramas there, especially for Spain anyway. It went pretty smoothly. And we're back here setting up. Now, as you've probably just seen, we've brought down with us today the generator, the compressor and the hoover. I've made up a special part to try and get, inside the tank and hoover it out. So luckily the pipes, as you probably just saw as well, have managed to reach down to the bottom, and so has the cable. So I'm not going to have to take the compressor and the generator and wheel it all the way down to the next level, which is is a bit of a relief. So I think what we'll do is we'll go and get it all set up down below, and I'll bring you back in. As before, footage has been greatly reduced and sped up for viewing pleasure, and I spent approximately 15 minutes on this procedure. The pipe I used was 16mm irrigation pipe, which is rigid enough to stop it from flopping around like hose pipe, but still flexible enough to be able to move it around to get into all the corners. After this, I opened the drain cock, drained all the dirty petrol out of it, closed it again and replenished it with some more fresh petrol. Then once again I gave it another final clean with the stick and the paintbrush, before once again draining the dirty petrol out and thoroughly drying out the inside of the tank with compressed air. Then finally, just one more quick hoover to clean out any dirt that may have been blasted loose by the compressed air. Okay, so that's all the tank done. I think there's very little dirt in there now. It seems pretty clean. There's no big chunks here in there. There's no really any fine stuff. I seem to have rinsed that all out. So I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So now we're on to the next stage, where we've got the sort of tedious task of flushing out all the lines, and we're going to start from the tank and work our way back. So I'll just quickly spin you around for that. Okay, so we're going to start with the feed line. This is obviously the feed line because this is the fuel pump. So this is the first one we're going to clean back. And then we've got the return line, which goes all the way back. Any excess fuel that doesn't get used from the pump returns to the tank, and that goes back through that. So we'll start by cleaning those two out, and then we'll work through all these pipes here, this one, flush them all out and get them clean. And then we'll give it a go. Now I'm going to use petrol in the paraffin gun and compressed air to flush it through. The theory behind that is the petrol will break down the diesel oil and flush it out the pipe, hopefully taking with it any dirt and dust that's been stuck in the diesel with it. It won't do the pipes any harm, and it won't do hit any harm to the actual engine by the time I've blown it out of air as well. I'm not going to clean the injectors on this occasion. I'm going to stop short of that because I did them about 20 months ago. And looking at when I cleaned the tank, if you remember earlier on in the video, the actual pipe, the outlet pipe coming out the tank was actually blocked, and I suspect that's what was causing the fuel starvation, and anything that did sort of get through a bit was actually taken up by the filters. So hopefully it hasn't gone beyond the last filter. We shall see. So after thoroughly cleaning and reconnecting all the pipes, I pour a bottle of fuel injector cleaner into the empty tank, followed by 15 litres of fresh clean diesel oil. I then make one last final check for leaks coming out of the connections on the bottom of the fuel tank before finally trying to start the engine. Okay, so that's done. That's a horrible fiddly job trying to get under there. You get lathered in diesel, petrol and grease as well. Yeah, not nice. Okay, so now we're going to start the priming process, which is done with this little guy here. Now, we start with this and see how we get on. If we find it's not working very well, then we may have to employ the help of another pump. I normally use one off an old Citroen, you know, a little hand bellow sort of pump to suck it through, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, that went surprisingly well. I don't know if it's because it's drawing from the tank better now or what, but that went really fast. I normally have lots of problems with that doing that, but that's been a matter of minutes. So yeah, might be getting a bit of luck after all. So I'm going to tighten everything down, tighten all the hose clips up again, and then we'll see if she'll start, which I suspect may not happen because the battery's probably not that great. Okay, so as suspected, the battery's not up to it. It really needs to be quite strong to kick it over that first time. Okay, well that started first time near enough, so that's not bad going. I haven't done anything else to beat the system or anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give that chance to warm up completely. We'll check for any leaks. We'll put this panel back on down here, get that back onto this part here, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of blading. Okay, so welcome back to present day. Just before I let you go to get on with your next video, I'd just like to mention a couple of things. What I've learned from this experience with doing this is two things. First thing is if you've got contaminated fuel, you clean all the filters, change the filters, clean all the pipes out, clean the injectors. It's worth going that extra mile to completely clean out the diesel tank as well. Otherwise, you know, you're just going to end up doing all those jobs all over again. Yeah, so if that happened to me again, I would definitely go that extra mile. Instead of just draining the tank, actually do what I just did in what you've just seen in the video. Second thing I've learned is over time, obviously, especially in a climate like here in Spain where you have really hot days and often really quite cold nights, it's a perfect environment to produce condensation in a steel diesel tank. And of course, over time, that condensation gathers, builds up, sinks to the bottom of the tank because obviously water's heavier than oil and the oil rides up to top, and you end up probably with half a litre or so of manky water condensation actually in the bottom of the tank. So from now on, as part of my sort of maintenance regime, every 6 months to a year, I think I'm going to be taking a litre of fuel out of the bottom of the tank by that drain cock that you saw in the video. Just let a litre out of that and make sure all the water's come out of it so it's not contaminating your fuel. I've noticed a sort of a sure sign of that is if you're sort of revving it and you know and it's warmed up, you're still getting a little wisps of white smoke sometimes coming out the exhaust. Sure sign that you've got water in your fuel either in the tank or in your water trap. So I'm not going to babble on any further. I'm going to let you guys go. Like I say, go watch your next video. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.